Everyone is losing their minds over the 1,000-horsepower Corvette ZR1 right now, and for good reason. We covered that beast on the channel recently, and the numbers are insane. But while Chevy is chasing Ferraris and Lamborghinis with mid-engine twin turbos, Ford has been quietly sharpening a blade in the dark. They are preparing the final boss of the front-engine muscle car era. We are talking about the return of the king of the road, the 2026 Ford Mustang Shelby GT500. The rumors are flying, the spy shots are aggressive, and if the leaks are true, this car isn't just coming for the Corvette, it's coming to end the internal combustion era with a supercharged scream. Is this the last stand of the V8? Let's find out. Welcome back to Forced Induction TV. Today we are digging into the most anticipated American muscle car currently in development. Now we know the Mustang GTD exists. That is a $300,000 pushrod suspension race car for the street. But most of us aren't getting a GTD. The car the enthusiasts are actually waiting for is the Halo model that sits right between the Dark Horse and that unreachable GTD. Based on the S650 platform, the next-gen GT500 is expected to arrive as a 2026 model, and the narrative here is heavy. With the Camaro dead and the Challenger replaced by an EV and a straight six, the Mustang is quite literally the last man standing in the traditional V8 pony car wars. But Ford isn't just coasting on that title. They are building a monster. The heart of the beast. Let's start with what matters most on this channel. What's under the hood? Current intel from Car and Driver and deep dive forum discussions suggests Ford is sticking to what works, but turning the dial past 11. The last GT500 used Ford's Supercharged 5.2, and the safest bet is an evolved version of that formula, but Ford hasn't confirmed the engine yet. For context, the previous S550 GT500 made 760 horsepower from a 5.2-litre supercharged cross-plane crank V8. It was a masterpiece. But in a world where the Mustang GTD makes 815 horsepower, the new Shelby cannot, and I repeat, cannot, make less than that. The hierarchy has to make sense. Most insiders are pegging the 2026 GT500 to land somewhere in the 800-plus horsepower range. We are likely looking at an evolution of that 5.2-litre block, potentially sharing some durability upgrades from the GTD's dry sump system to handle higher G-forces. They need to bridge the gap between the 500-horsepower Dark Horse and the top-tier GTD. Now, unlike the GTD, which uses a transaxle for weight balance, the GT500 will almost certainly keep the transmission bolted to the engine in the traditional spot. We expect an automatic, and the most logical guess is a modernized dual clutch, because that's what the last GT500 was built around. Anything beyond that is speculation. I know, save the manuals. But when you are chasing quarter-mile times against Porsches and Corvettes, the DCT is the superior weapon. This car is about precision violence, and a human shifting gears is simply the weak link in that chain. Spy shots and aero. Let's talk about what we've actually seen. Camouflaged prototypes have been spotting running around Michigan, and they look angry. If you thought the Dark Horse looked aggressive, the GT500 test mules are on another level. The first thing you notice in the spy shots is the airflow management. The front grille openings are massive. You need serious air volume to cool a supercharged 5.2-litre V8, making over 800 horsepower, plus all the heat exchangers for the oil and transmission. The front splitter is significantly larger than the standard GT, designed to glue that nose to the tarmac. Moving to the corners, we see staggered performance tyres. The previous generation ran 305s up front and 315s in the back. The new mules look to be pushing that limit, likely wearing Michelin Pilot Sport Cup 2s or potentially the new Cup 2R. You can spot huge rotors and big calipers. Whether they're carbon ceramic isn't something you can call from these photos alone. Stopping power is just as important as horsepower when you're hurling 4,000 pounds into a corner. And around the back, a prominent rear wing. It's not the active aero swan neck wing from the GTD, but it's much more substantial than the Dark Horse handling pack spoiler. Plus, we see the signature quad exhaust tips. This confirms that despite emissions regulations tightening the noose, the V8 roar is staying loud and proud. Interior and technology. Inside, don't expect a stripped-out race car. This is still a street car at heart. The 2026 GT500 will inherit the tech-heavy cabin of the S650 generation. That means the massive single-glass curved display housing the 12.4-inch digital instrument cluster and the 13.2-inch center stack. Ford will likely give the Shelby unique graphics. Think specific track apps, supercharger boost gauges, and launch control interfaces powered by the Unreal Engine graphics they're so proud of. We also expect the drift brake to be standard. If you haven't seen this, it looks like a mechanical handbrake but is actually electronic, allowing you to lock the rear wheels instantly for drifting. It's a gimmick, sure, but it's a fun one. Expect aggressive Recaro bucket seats with heavy bolstering, lots of Alcantara, and plenty of carbon fiber trim. It needs to feel special because, as we're about to discuss, the price tag is going to reflect that premium status. The rivalry. Now, let's address the elephant in the room, the rivalry. For decades, it was Mustang versus Camaro versus Challenger. But with the Camaro gone, the GT500 finds itself in a weird spot. Its natural enemy is dead, so it has to punch up. The media loves to compare the GT500 to the Corvette ZR1, but is that fair? The new ZR1 just dropped with 1,064 horsepower from a twin-turbo flat-plane crank V8. It's a mid-engine hypercar slayer. The GT500 is a front-engine muscle car. The ZR1 is going to cost well over $200,000. The GT500 is rumored to start around the $100,000 mark. That is a massive difference. However, the rivalry exists because these are the two pinnacles of American performance right now. The ZR1 is technical perfection. It's surgical. The GT500 is a sledgehammer. It's about brute force. While the ZR1 will undoubtedly be faster around a track due to the mid-engine balance and aero, the GT500 offers a different experience. It's that classic, terrifying feeling of a high-horsepower car trying to kill you if you disrespect it. It's the last stand of the traditional layout. If you want a supercar, you buy the Vette. But if you want the ultimate iteration of a muscle car, the GT500 is in a class of one. So, when can you get one, and how much will it hurt? As I mentioned, we expect a reveal in the 2026 model year. Pricing is the scary part. The previous GT500 started around $80,000. With inflation and the S650 price hikes, do not be surprised if this car starts at $100,000. And that's before the inevitable market adjustment, dealer markups. If you want one, you need to be talking to your dealers now. This isn't just another trim level. This is likely the final supercharged V8 Mustang we will ever see. The 2026 Shelby GT500 represents the end of an era. While the world goes electric, Ford is giving us one last supercharged scream. What do you think? Is 800 horsepower enough to keep you interested? Or has the ZR1 stolen the spotlight forever? Let me know in the comments below. If you enjoyed this deep dive, smash that like button, subscribe to Forced Induction TV, and I'll see you in the next one.